Hi, my name is Brian Benson with James Bean Estate Sales in Oklahoma City. And a lot of times we get called for people who want to have an appraisal. And a lot of times when they call me for an appraisal, I'll try to figure out, do they really need an appraisal? Because that's going to cost them money, or do they not? And most of the times, 9 times out of 10, people will call me because they found something at a garage sale or in their garage and they think it's worth money. And a lot of times when I explain to them that, having an appraisal is going to cost at least a couple $100s, we figure out it's really not in their best interest to pay for an appraisal, and I'll try to, point it to either, going on eBay and looking at getting an idea, or other ways of trying to find a value for them that's not going to cost them a lot of money or any money. And sometimes also people will call us because they're going to liquidate an estate, and I'll say, okay, well, you want to liquidate an estate, how are you planning on doing that? And I find out that they're going to hire a company to liquidate the estate for them, and I explain to them that, why pay for an appraisal to have that looked at when they're going to already price it for you. You're kind of like spending the money twice. So I try to, steer people in the right direction, but there are times that people really do need to pay for an appraisal, either for insurance or sometimes like to settle a lawsuit, or in a state where it's going to court, sometimes you do need an actual appraisal. One particular appraisal that we had looked at that the people really did need to hire an appraisal, and I don't know if they ever did, was we had gotten a call from an attorney, and he was representing an electric company whose power line had fallen in somebody's pasture. The pasture caught on fire, and it burnt down their barn, their garage, and I think a shed, and a row of several abandoned cars that were in their backyard. And he had contacted me because he thought that the people were trying to be deceptive and were trying to gouge the insurance claim or the claim on it. So he contacts me, and I said, I don't know. I said, do you have pictures? And they didn't have any pictures, but they had a list of what had been destroyed. And I said, okay, well, I said, I don't really know if I can help you, but if you send me the list, I'll take a look at the list. And if I can help you, I'll let you know. So he sends the list over. I scan through the list, and surprisingly, on this list, I could figure out what about half the stuff was. And I looked at it and looked at the prices that they had. And what they had done was they had made a list, and they had figured it up at about $75,000. Then a couple weeks later, they had edited the list and reduced what they thought the cost was to about $45,000. And he thought that they were trying to gouge the company. So when I looked at it, I realized that it actually severely undervalued the stuff. So I called the attorney, and I said, I really can't help you because, if you call me as a witness about this list, you're actually not going to come out ahead because this list is actually low for what they're asking. I said, they can actually ask for a lot more money. So I said, if you are going to have to settle and they're willing to settle for 45, that's actually really reasonable. You really should probably go ahead and take the 45,000. I said, as I looked through the list, the 75,000 was low. They could maybe even get you up to 100,000. And he, said, okay, well, thank you for letting me know. And I never heard anything from it, but that is one of the cases that it could be beneficial to hire an appraisal. The appraisal cost on that, by the time we figure in court costs, because we might have to go to court to testify and print out, all sorts of printouts and appraisals, through us, it might have actually been $1,500 or $2,000. But that's something that, one, we could have justified the $45,000 claim, but we actually probably could have got their claim up to about $100,000 or maybe even more, depending on what documentation and what other things we also found in this appraisal. So, like I said, a lot of times people don't need an appraisal, but there are times that you do, and sometimes it is worth spending that money. And I know that money sometimes seems kind of daunting, but when it can benefit you that much, it can be worth it. So if you'd like to hear more crazy stories about things that have happened at our estate sales or back when we used to own an antique store and an antique mall, feel free to subscribe to our channel or sign up for our email list on our website at jamesbeanestatesales.com. And every week you'll get an email notifying you of our new videos and also all of our upcoming sales. Thanks.